It's special for us to come up to the mountains. It really is a place where we come together more than anywhere else in the world. There's just this wonderful sense of community, and you're a little closer to nature and being a little higher, even a little closer to God.
When you're here, you're from Cashiers.
Absolutely. It's very welcoming.
I've been coming up here ever since I was a child. I used to come up with my parents and my grandparents, and now I bring my children up here.
The memories they connect from coming with their parents or grandparents or great-grandparents now.
The vision that my forefathers had is similar to the vision that his descendants still have for Cashiers, which is that it's a low-key getaway, appeals mostly to Southern families that have been coming here for generations, many to escape the heat of the low country with an emphasis on outdoor activities. The Cashiers Village Council project, which is all about preserving the historical character of the town.
This is called the Zachary Talbert House. Mordecai Zachary started building this house in 1842, and it took him 10 years to complete.
The person that built it was the son of Colonel John Zachary, who was the founding pioneer of Cashiers, and the original furniture was in the house.
The curator of the furniture in the Smithsonian said, "This is the largest collection I have ever seen that we could name the person who made it."
My great-grandfather, which was E.H. Jennings, moved here from Pittsburgh in 1895, and over the years ended up amassing about 40,000 acres here, and did some really neat things with it, building inns here, the old Toxaway Inn, the Sapphire Inn, an inn in Brevard, to attract people from the New England area industrialists to come spend their summers here and vacation. And I think he grew in love with West North Carolina.
A fellow by the name of General Wade Hampton ventured up into this area around the turn of the century, and he purchased the property that is now High Hampton Inn and Wade Hampton Golf Club and built a summer lodge. He would come up with carriages and wagons, and they came up to their lodge and they would spend the summers up here.
And you're talking about a real trek to come out of the low country in the south where the climate was cool enough that they could summer.
Ernest Lyndon McKee the first purchased this property in 1922. Then a few years later built the High Hampton Inn that still is there today.
And this became sort of a gathering spot in an area that was a summer retreat for the aristocracy of the South.
There's so much going on and there's so much to do, and a lot of it centers around the clubs that are here and the activities that they all provide. And whether it's water, tennis, golf.
Croquet is just a good sport all around. The aesthetics of it, wearing all the white and the green lawns, the formality, I think people are really attracted to that.
We get people from all over the world to come and fish the Cashiers Highlands area. It's a completely unique experience. We're in a temperate rainforest, and it's something you don't find anywhere else.
In getting back to nature, there's hiking, camping, kayaking, fly fishing, just anything.
Fly fishing is really popular. We've got tons of small streams, big rivers, really beautiful scenic areas. We have brook trout, brown trout, rainbow trout. The brook trout is the native species for southern Appalachia.
The Bascom is well received by the community, and it's a lot of fun. They have an open studio that you can go in at your convenience, and they have pottery classes for anyone from beginners to people who already have a talent.
Tennis in the mountains is beautiful because of the setting. You've got the cool temperatures, and it's just a gorgeous setting.
I'm a painter, so I love to go up here because of all the scenery. It's a great place to paint. Everywhere you look, there's beautiful wildflowers. The children really get to enjoy themselves and experience riding.
What a rare jewel this area is, combined with an unbelievably fertile climate and soil.
There's two types of water in the Highlands Cashiers Plateau. We have Lake Glenville, which is the highest lake in the east, and it's one of the most pure lakes in the east. And then you have 7 different river systems.
The name for the Tuckasegee River comes from the Cherokee word which means turtle places. Bear Lake and others have a controlled release of water to the Tuckasegee, so it's always full and it's great for rafting.
There's over 800,000 acres of public land within a 45-minute drive of here.
Oh, we were just driving along, going up the mountain, and then we stopped at one of those little lookouts, and there was the mountains for miles. It was just beautiful. We've come to this quaint little village with all these cafes and bookstores. It was sort of shocking. I didn't even know that it was here.
You know, usually stuff going on in the Village Green, and there's, whether it's an art festival or some kind of music festival, and it's a great way to spend an afternoon.
That was the idea for the Village Green, is for it to be a community event venue where people could go and enjoy themselves.
There's so much to do in the summertime, from July the 4th festivals, you know, on the green, or fireworks on Lake Glenville.
Mountain golf is different. You have such beautiful views, wonderful, wonderful scenery. So for me, mountain golf is just the best.
Well, mountain golf is a real adrenaline rush. And boy, we got some of the great ones up here, from Donald Ross to Arnold Palmer to Tom Jackson to Tom Fazio. I mean, that's almost a who's who of golf course architects, and all have that within a 10 or 15 mile radius is, you know, it's pretty special. And they've all got their own distinctive characteristics they bring to the golf course, which gives us, as a golfer, a variety of golf courses to play.
All the clubs here in the area provide an array of services and amenities. Rivers running through them for trout fishing. Quite a few have equestrian facilities, different hiking trails.
We're in a temperate rainforest, which makes for great vegetation. Everything is beautifully green.
You come across all types of different wildlife, whether it be deer or turkey. We've seen a few bears. It makes golf more an adventure.
The fairways have a lot of roll and undulation to them, so very rarely do you have a level, flat lie, which adds to the excitement of the golfing experience.
We're in the southern Appalachians, and it's the second oldest mountain range in the world. So it gives people a sense that things have been occurring and living here for a long time. I think a good steward of land is to try to respect the naturalness of the land and conserve the property and leave it in its natural state as much as possible.
Geographically, the plateau is an artistic expression in itself, to work with the topography and to relate construction and building to that. It's a challenge to builders on this plateau.
People come here to the mountains and want to build a house. They typically want to build dreams. A lot of times they are looking for that multi-generational home. They want the privacy, they want that feeling of seclusion, and they like the intimacy of their little place in heaven.
These houses are passed down from generation to generation. The most important part of living in Cashiers is being outdoors, to look at the flowers, the trees, everything. So the porch becomes the main living space.
Natural materials are very important when designing a home in the mountains. Everybody wants that big stone fireplace to gather around in the evening with their friends and family.
The area has become a nationally renowned second home community.
The quaintness of the village of Cashiers is very unique. There are upscale shops and dining.
The restaurants, they are passionate about being creative with their dishes.
The clubs tend to run more of a restaurant-style menu. It's very convenient to come to the club and know that you have something for everybody. We get the greatest products. In this day and age, we are fortunate to be able to source any ingredient from anywhere in the world to be on our doorstep within 2 days.
We have just a wonderful climate that's conducive to the growing season and great local organic vegetables and fruits.
Members will sometimes go fishing in our local stream and actually bring me fish to the kitchen, which I'll clean for them and prepare for them dinner that evening.
The land itself is just so amazing. I mean, I don't think you could find a more beautiful paradise.
It's basically mountain courses everywhere, but they are lush, they are green, they're rarely crowded, and there's so many of them all around. You really have your choice of some of the prettiest vistas to play golf anywhere, I think, in the country.
There's cooking classes at some of the clubs. There's art classes, sculpture classes, craft classes.
All the activities here, as well as the fishing and the rock hopping and the river walking, is just incredible for families.
You'd be surprised how you can spend a whole day right here in the downtown area. There's stuff you can find up here that you can't find anywhere else. There's high fashion and there's great accessory stores.
Cashiers is a fantastic town. It has everything, and the people who live here are really good, solid people.
This is just different and special as a place and a community.